Guys, what is going on, and welcome back to a brand new Airsoft gameplay video. So today I'm playing at an old abandoned coal mine facility located in the south of the Netherlands called South 63. It's quite a large field that has a nice balance of plain open terrain and dense vegetation, with also a good amount of steep hills and a couple little wooden CQB structures as well. And mainly the open terrain in combination with the steep hills make this field a true sniper paradise. So I thought this was a great opportunity for me to test out my brand new fully upgraded Silverback SRS A1. But sadly for me, things didn't go the way I had hoped, since my sniper decided to give up on me right before the game started, and once the game finally got going I also quickly found out that there was one particular player on the enemy team who played the game in a way that I'm personally not such a big fan of. So please let this video be a lesson and don't be like this guy. But anyways, me being me, I tried to make the best out of it as I always do, and here's pretty much what happened. So I hope you enjoy, or don't, or cringe, or get angry. I don't know, I guess you could sort it out yourself. Anyways, here we go. Alright guys, so the game is about to start and me and my buddy are heading to the shooting range to quickly fine-tune our guns before we take them out on the field. So I take out my sniper rifle, I insert the magazine and I start to shoot some targets. And to my surprise, I noticed that my BBs aren't getting any backspin from the hop-up unit and that I can barely hit the 50-meter target, while usually a fully upgraded SRS should be able to reach well over 90 meters.
This is so disappointing. Really, it is. Very disappointing.
Thank you. What the
Ik raak de 15 niet eens wel, what the f. What the f.
Okay, so long story short, I thought my hop-up unit just died since the adjustments I did with the hex key on top of the rifle, which is the standard way of adjusting your hop-up on an SRS, didn't seem to do anything. So I talked to the guy that I bought the gun from, and yeah, just so you know, my tech skills are absolutely sub-zero and I was born with 2 left hands, so I bought the rifle pre-upgraded from a friend of mine. And he told me that the rifle had fast hop, which means that you have to adjust the hop-up from the inside of the gun and not from the top with the hex keys, like I was trying the entire time. But me being me, of course, I didn't find out until I got back home. So yeah, great start.
Yeah. Alles! This entire f***ing rifle is the problem! Jesus! Oh! I want it, really. I want a f***ing a $900 sniper rifle can't even hit 50 meters. Welcome to my life, boys. Welcome to my life. Every time I want to play Airsoft, everything goes wrong. I'm just becoming a meme. Well, let's try and make the best out of it then. Oh god.
And so I did, since after that I somewhat calmed down from my little mental breakdown at the shooting range, and I realized that there was no other option left other than to play pistol only. On a field that is pretty much made for long range AEGs and snipers. I should really start bringing backup guns. So now, with my rifle stored away, it's finally time to jump into some action with my good old trusty SSP-1. So for our first mission of the day, we got orders to steal several ammunition crates located in and around enemy territory. So adapting to my situation, I decided to team up with my equally unlucky friend who's also rocking nothing else but a pistol in order to form a fast-paced, highly mobile 2-man squad, which might actually come in quite handy for our team's game's current mission. So the game just started and me and my buddy decide to make our way all the way around the main combat areas through the dense woods to reduce the chance of being outranged by enemy forces and in order to hopefully surprise the enemy with an attack from behind. But in order to get to the dense woods, we first need to struggle our way to quite a bit of open field riddled with enemy snipers. But luckily there is a very conveniently placed CQB structure right in the middle of the open terrain, which provides us with some form of midway protection from the enemy snipers that are lurking in the bushes.
Het! Deadman!
Ja, er zit nog in. Ja, laat maar dan.
So now, with the CQB structure completely cleared from enemy forces, me and my squad mates successfully reached the woods. So now our plan is to take the high ground and advance all the way to the top of the tallest hill, also conveniently located in the same woods, in order to get a nice overview of all the possible flanking routes leading towards the enemy base.
Ik heb ze allebei.
So, after clearing some enemies down that hill and after reloading our magazines, me and my squad mate decided to split up so we can advance down the hill from two different angles to hopefully surprise the enemies from an unexpected angle.
Dat is een lipje. Ik weet niet of jullie dat...
Ik zie geen rijbandjes.
Kom en helpen.
Ja, ik ga niet hieronder rollen, man.
Ik ga niet naar rollen. Dek je dit?
Ja. Volgens mij komen ze daar langs.
So, after very tactically covering my entire gear in sticky coal particles, I finally made my way around the main combat points, approaching the enemy base from behind. So now the only thing left for me to do is look for those hidden ammo crates without getting spotted by enemy infantry.
Ja, het!
Whoa, wait. Hold on a second. Did you see what happened there? Let's do a quick recap. So I'm stuck behind this pile of dirt with no other way out than eliminating the enemies in front of me. So I peek over the dirt pile, engaging the enemy with the black gear first, while showing as little of myself as possible. So sadly my first 2 shots missed their target, but I could have sworn to myself that the third one actually hit the guy. Since I don't know if the microphone actually picked it up, but I could hear a clear impact sound right after I fired the third shot. But then again, it also could have been something else and maybe the guy simply didn't feel it. I mean, stuff like that happens. So after that engagement, I tried to duck away behind the dirt pile again, while the guy who tried to hit me at the first place suddenly starts to shout at me that I have to call my hit. While he did nothing except emptying probably his entire magazine on the trees right behind me. But sadly for me, while I was trying to get back into cover, his teammate that stood behind him actually did manage to hit me in my helmet. Which actually confirms that the first guy didn't hit me at all, since as you could clearly hear, when I do really get hit, my microphone picks up the sound quite intensively. But hey, even though I was quite annoyed about it at the time, I decided to let it be and go back to my respawn, since I didn't want to disturb the game flow. So after a relatively long walk back to my respawn...
Huh? What is?
I regroup with my buddy in order to try to attack the enemies again, while trying to forget about what just happened with that other guy beforehand. But little did we know that the coast wasn't quite clear yet.
Come on, dude. Dude, really?
But anyways, this time me and my buddy decide to take the shorter but more dangerous route towards the enemy base. So we decide to climb the south hill first, which will provide us with a nice overlook at the enemy defenses, which will help us to determine the safest route towards the enemy base. So once we both arrive at the top of the hill, overlooking the fields, this happens.
Het? Wat de f komt dat vanaf op mijn rug? Hoe dan?
Ja, kan.
Hoe dan? What the f?
That was strange, wasn't it? So, in case you didn't realize, I got shot from the back, which didn't really make any sense since our respawn is literally 50 meters away from my current position, which makes it very unlikely for a living enemy player to be there to shoot me right in the back. And that's why I also reacted quite surprised and confused. But what I didn't know at this time is that according to a teammate who was standing near the hill, someone from the enemy team in all black gear actually fired at me while walking back to his respawn. And I'm very sad that I didn't get it on camera, since obviously I don't know for sure if the teammate is actually speaking the truth, that someone from the enemy team actually shot me in the back while being out of the game. But nevertheless, right after that crazy, potentially unsportsmanlike action, this happens as well.
Is jou net trouwens aangesproken, de Marshal?
Nee?
Er zijn net wat klachten gekomen, hè?
Ja.
Dat je met je gilly niks hoort. Dat is begrijpelijk.
Ken je niks hoort?
Dat je niks voelt, zeg met je gilly.
Want tot nu toe neem ik elke hit gewoon.
Nee, maar er zijn een paar mannen die zeiden net van ze hebben je geraakt. Nogmaals, met de gilly is gewoon discutabel. Dat je niet voelt is begrijpelijk.
Ja, maar ja, heel eerlijk, soms zie ik echt gewoon de bibis rechts ketsen en dan gaan ze al klagen, dus ja.
Nee, daarom, ik zei het nog, dat ik het niet doe, dan...
So apparently what happened here is that there were some complaints from the enemy team about me and my friend apparently not taking our hits, while I had camera evidence that shows very clearly that we aren't cheating at all, which I showed to the ref afterwards as well just to be sure. And the funny thing is that I have seen someone in full black gear from the enemy team talking to refs quite often during the entire game, and that the majority of my team received a lot of similar complaints as well, which they also didn't understand since they all believed that they were all playing fair. So I don't know about you guys, but I'm personally starting to think that someone in all black gear on the enemy team is having a very rough airsofting day and is trying to bother others with it. And again, don't get me wrong, it could be all different persons as well, but the fact that every one of these events was linked to someone in all black gear makes me quite doubtful about that, to be honest. And usually I just ignore people like this and try to focus on the game, but this time it was just way too prominent to not give it any attention. And also, this is actually the first time I managed to get it on camera, since believe it or not, but I also do see this happening quite a lot at my home field where I actually work as a referee myself. because people like this guy most of the times tend to think that they're some sort of airsoft god who can easily rack up thousands of kills with their $2,000 plus loadout, while in reality they aren't usually as good as they believe to be. And when their performance doesn't live up to their fantasy, they usually start blaming other people for the lack of their own skill, resulting in ruining the game not only for themselves but also for everyone around them with their false complaints. I mean, I get it, sometimes you do get frustrated when the game is not going the way you want it to go, and trust me, everyone has this once in a while. But please, once this happens, start to look at yourself first before thinking everyone on the field is a cheater because they didn't call the hit of your, I don't know, 360 no scope with a grenade launcher from a hill that's, I don't know, 90 meters away. But with all the jokes aside, guys, please let this video be a lesson and don't be like this guy. Trust me, yourself and the entire airsoft sport will thank you for it. But anyways, right after that little talk between me and the ref, me and my buddy simply walked back to our respawn to give our epic upfront attacking strategy some fresh power. But little did I know that my GoPro actually needed that power a whole lot more, since it decided to die on me right before we were about to leave our respawn. Because my stupid self forgot to charge it all the way before I left home. I should really work on my preparation skills. But anyways guys, that was all for today's video, so even though my luck was nowhere to be seen that day, I still hope you enjoyed the video. So if you did, please make sure to drop a like, which will help out the channel by a lot, and also if you're new here and you're down for some more airsoft craziness, then feel free to subscribe to the channel so you won't miss out on any new videos, and then I hope to see you all in the next one.